Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Lift the Lid. Today we are lifting the lid on a song called Letter to a Friend, which I wrote back in 2022, and it's also the same song from video 2, if you want to check that one out. Today, literally just lifting the lid on this one to showcase that sometimes less is more. So with this song, we start here.
Dear friend, I'm wondering how you've been.
And then the piano and the vocal finish here.
You're gone, but you are not forgotten.
So polar opposites. And so the journey to get there was a fun one. But ultimately it wasn't necessarily about what I added in, because actually when we compare this song to the demo, the parts aren't much different. It's generally the same. So it wasn't necessarily about what I changed and what layers I added in. It was actually what I didn't add in, which I think made the difference. So you'll hear this here, like the demo. That's basically the demo, just with a different snare sound. And you can see why the yellow and the red and the purple and the purpley pink, that basically goes for the whole song, and the green, the piano. At the end, we just open up on the drums, the bass plays, piano simplifies. So, I mean, that's pretty bread and butter. Drums, bass, and piano. Through the middle here with this red thing, this is a, I'll show you this. A little thing I made out of a bass guitar sample, doubled it, pitched it up, and then just fuzzed it, and then smashed it to bananas with this amp. And you can see I've automated this fuzz to get dirtier and dirtier. Put a bunch of reverb on it, and it's playing one note, so really it's not doing anything melodic. It's creating a little bit of, it's helping the rhythm, helping push it forward. But in terms of melody, harmony, it's not really doing anything. It's almost like a shaker in a way, a pitched shaker. Without it, it's a little bit empty. Just creating a little bit of a point of difference. Add in some brass. That's still pretty simple. This brass is by itself there. This is original bounce from the sample. I think it's Blueprint brass, Gentle brass maybe. Just outlining the chords, no big melody or anything. Letting the vocal come over top.
That you are not alone.
Just like a little bead. And then verse 4 comes along, the brass is in, just a cello. Offering a little bit of a counter melody here. So here's with the vocal, sorry.
If only you could see
counter melody, harmony, sort of parallel thing going on there. Just another little point of difference. But again, it's not like a full-on orchestra, it's just a cello part. And then, yeah, so, gee whiskers. By the time we get to the end here, there's still not a lot going on, you know. It's still this bread and butter piano, drums, bass, percussion-y stuff. And then it opens up. How do I open that up? So I've intentionally not brought the whole quartet in here to create myself some space so that when I hit this last chorus, I've got something to bring in. Because if I bring the whole quartet in at this verse here, that last chorus doesn't punch nearly as hard. So classic example of not necessarily what I'm adding in, but it's what I'm leaving out that's helping nurture that emotion, carry the emotion through the song. Because it might be lovely, a string quartet, I'm sure would be absolutely amazing here. But I think it's even better when it holds out to chorus 3, chorus 2, whatever we're at. Yeah, got this little this is a new string part that I wrote in, just comping the chords, outlining the chords, and it's got a vowel hollow verb on it. So what else do we have here? Yeah, and then we've waited pretty much the whole song before we see any guitars. This is my baritone, just again, big rakes. Really simple. And we're just creating a bit of candy with some tremolo, some supermassive. This is it dry. And then we've got this thing over top, like a looping motif. And again, the guitar comes in, but it's a fairly simple part, really. There's one motif that's basically playing the same thing over and over again, and there's some simple chord rakes. And this classical guitar with lots of bleed. It's just picking through the chords. Without it, with it. And again, it's not in your face in the mix. It's kind of buried, but it's still audible. So really, if we start from the bottom up, we got a drum groove. We add some percussion. By this point, the boom bap, the shugga-dugga, the stuff here from earlier, I don't need it in this big chorus because I want it to feel really grand and open. So that doesn't really work for me. Just muddies it up. So get rid of it. Less is more. in this case. I had some bass guitar. Again, really simple part, just walking down, a little bit of sub bass, just right down the bottom. And then bring the piano in. Got some strings. Bring the guitars in. And the brass. So if I don't bring the guitars in, it's not quite enough. If I only bring the classical in, it's still not quite enough. But if I bring in 20 layers of electrics, like sometimes we do, it's gonna be too much. If I start playing like a really, really melodic part in the electric lines or the classical line, it's gonna start conflicting with the melody and the vocal, and I don't want to do that. So essentially just really, really keeping it really simple. And if anything, just letting the vocal, and if anything, letting the strings create a little bit of difference. Some counter melodies. Like by this point, the piano is, man, that's so simple. Leaving room for that classical. So there we have it. That's how I built that up. I just tried to my best to keep it really, really, really simple, and being selective of what I brought in and what I took out. Yeah, hope you enjoyed this one. Catch you on